Record. All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Dylan Stafford. I am your host. We're recording this. People will continue to join the room. Thanks very much for being here tonight. I appreciate your attention, and we're just really grateful to have you. And what do you see on your screen? Do you see the PowerPoint? Is it clean? Okay, great. All right. Well, this is a FEMBA info session. I'm borrowing a lot of material from my How FEMBA Transforms Your Career session. So if you've heard me do that session, you'll hear some of my same witticisms and data points, and I'll try to keep it interesting and fresh. This takes a little less than an hour, and then leave half hour for questions and answers at the end. I know many people are at work, so they got their video off. If you want to turn your video on, I love it. Helps me just to see human beings. I much prefer doing these things in person, but Adarsh is in North Carolina, and we wouldn't get to have this conversation tonight if it weren't for Zoom. So God bless Zoom. Here we go. So just to quote our famous UCLA coach, John Wooden, if you don't know anything about the history of UCLA, he's an amazing human being. He won the NCAA championship 10 times in the 60s and 70s, including 7 times in a row. And he has a wonderful quote, "Make today your masterpiece." I have it on a little Post-it here. I keep it by my desk right there. Make today your masterpiece. I think it's a good thing. So let's make this evening a masterpiece. You're thinking about a graduate degree. You're thinking about making a big investment of time and money and effort. You're thinking about trusting UCLA with your graduate degree experience. And, we don't take that lightly. We appreciate that very much. And I want to give you a lot of evidence tonight about why and how UCLA might be a great partner for you as you look at that. So in the chat, we'll just get this. Which would you rather have? If you had to pick one of the three: more money, more friends, more confidence? Let me see. Can you guys put that in the chat? Get a little sense of who's here tonight. If you could only pick one, what do we got? Where's my chat box? I got too many windows open here. Confidence, confidence, friends, confidence, friends, friends. There's the money, there's the money, there's friends. All right, confidence, friends, money, money, confidence, friends, money. All right, money, money. Okay, good, good. All right, hoping we had some capitalists in the room. Everybody wants to be friends. That's awesome. Okay, I'll have a few of these chats through the evening just to get a sense. So, of course, the punchline is you could do all three. We have 3 pillars of success at UCLA. We talk about thinking fearlessly, making more money, creating new and different ways to solve business problems, sharing success. That's where the friends come in. You're going to see lots of examples of friends that people make here. And the third pillar is driving change. And that's where the confidence comes from. So, of course, the answer is you can have all 3. So thank you for your attention to learn about UCLA tonight. We were ranked the #1 public university in the land for the 5th year in a row last year by U.S. News & World Report in their Best Colleges survey. Over 149,000 people applied for a seat in the freshman class this season, the most applied to undergraduate university in the nation for about 10 years in a row. It might be slightly less than 10 years, but it's a big magical place. The campus, 420 acres right in the middle of the west side of Los Angeles, surrounded by Bel Air and Brentwood and Santa Monica. It's a beautiful place to go to school, the most applied to undergraduate program in the nation. And we are one of 125 different graduate degrees that you can earn. And the Fully Employed MBA program, we in the law school are the 2 biggest student bodies, the 2 most populated student bodies of all 125 different graduate programs that you can pursue at UCLA. So it's a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful part of the American educational system. Part of what makes America so great is the diversity of choice that we have in where we go to school. You can go in the city, you can go in the country, you can go to a big school, you can go to a little school, you can go to a public school, you can go to a private school. And that diversity of choice is part of what makes America really special, because what happens to the youth of today is what happens to your society tomorrow. And UCLA is part of building society for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And you're all part of that. And I'm grateful for your attention tonight. So FEMBA is the #1 program in Southern California. As long as there have been rankings since 1996 when the rankings came out, or 1998 when the rankings began, we've always been the top ranked program. Half the time it's us above Berkeley. Right now, Berkeley's above us, but we're always a top 5 program. March 29th this year, we were #5. So the big 5 are really Berkeley and UCLA on the West Coast, Chicago Northwestern in the Midwest, and NYU Stern tends to be the best part-time program in the Northeast. And we are honored to be in that company. Some of the highlights, just, if you have to leave early tonight, what makes the Fully Employed MBA program great? We have 2 incredible field study options, the Global Access program, where you are matched with an international high-tech, high-growth, early-stage company, and you and 5 of your chosen classmates, or 4 teams of 5, consult with a real early-stage, high-tech, high-growth company, internationally based, for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, you present an investment quality business plan. So this is the 6 months over the summer and into the 3rd year of the program. It's a chance to road test your MBA as you come towards the end of your MBA. So you actually, before you graduate, get a chance to make sure that the lessons have really stuck. You've learned everything there is to learn. You know how to apply the complexity of a graduate degree in business to a real world company. So that's the Global Access program. Or if you're the entrepreneur type, we have the business creation option, which is the alternate field study choice, where you are actually going to create a company and you go get some of your friends who are interested and you go through all of what there is to go through to get a minimum viable product, to find investment, to analyze your market niche, and really launch. And about half of our BCO companies actually go to launch. We have a venture accelerator. We've converted the basement of our library. It's a total shared space, owned by Anderson, but shared with the rest of campus. We're connected to Startup UCLA, Tech Coast Angels. It's all happening and we're in the middle of it. So if you are the person who wants to start your own company, we have that. So 2 world-class field study options is a huge highlight of our program. The global immersion courses that we offer, we invented those back in 2007 and 2008. We were the first part-time program to offer those, and they're super popular. A chance to take a week off work and go to an exotic, interesting, emerging market part of the world. So we go to Israel, we go to Eastern Europe, we go to South America, we go to Mexico, we go all across Asia, we go to New Zealand and Australia. And these are really popular courses. You can take a global immersion course, go to an amazing part of the world, earn 4 units of credit, and be back at work, 7 or 8 days later, while you have introduced yourself to a part of the world where English is not the primary language, although Australia and New Zealand are the exception. But you've up close, in person, seen companies, met government officials, and had just a heck of a time traveling with classmates. Nobody sleeps. People are out all night and then all day long doing the business part. It's just a tremendous experience. We invented those here. We're very proud of those. We've gone to over 20 countries, and I'll show you a couple slides where they fit in the curriculum. It's spring break, summer break, fall break, winter break. Globally diverse classmates. We have about 30 countries of birth in an average class. I love to say this is the United Nations meets Hogwarts. It's the international diversity of the United Nations and the magic of Hogwarts. Because of course, nobody really wants to compare us to Harvard. They want to compare us to the magical, the ideal, the best university in the land, the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And if we do our job right, we're going to make magic happen in your career. And I'll show you some slides about the outcomes that our students have in our alumni report. And we also have dedicated career services, the 4th of the 4 highlights I wanted. If you choose to come to the Fully Employed MBA program, you keep your job. You're a fully employed person. You're going to school in the evenings and the weekends. So your time is very precious, but your opportunity set is really big because you're still in the marketplace. I'll ask you a question in a little while. When's the best time to look for a job? And we have a team of dedicated career services professionals, all of whom are executive coach certified, all of whom bring real world industry experience, helping people go from manager to director, director to VP, VP to C-suite, employed to starting your own company. And we're very proud because not all part-time programs offer full access to the career services suite of the school overall. plus in our case, a dedicated team specifically focused just at the Fully Employed MBA program. So you get all 4 of these highlights while you keep your job, while you keep earning. So let me just show you the curriculum. This is a little bit of a challenge because it's pretty complicated, but this is just a general map. So it's a 2.5-year experience, 20 total courses. 11 of the courses are set. They're going to be in blue here in a second. And then 9 of the courses are going to be in yellow. So the set courses are lockstep. They're all just mapped out. You just get admitted to the program, and then you tell us what schedule you want. You have 3 choices. You can come all day Saturday, have a morning class and an afternoon class. That's one option. You can go Tuesday night, Thursday night. So you have a class on Tuesday night, have another class on Thursday night, and you keep your weekend totally free. Or you can do our hybrid schedule, which is super popular. Adarsh, North Carolina, high travel, Bay Area. So our hybrid schedule, you come down to campus 3 weekends per quarter. So you have like a whole weekend, and then you have a 3-week break. So if you have young children, if you're in the military, if you're out of state, the hybrid schedule is very popular. So 3 different schedule choices, and you pick that choice, and those are the times you're on campus for the first year. So this is the core curriculum, these blue classes. There's a 1-week kickoff at the end of the summer called Leadership Foundations. So that's just a unique thing. Take a week off work, be here for Leadership Foundations. Then in the fall, you take Data and Decisions and Organizational Behavior. In the winter, you'll take Accounting and Economics. In the spring, you'll take Finance and Marketing. And then in the fall of the second year, you'll take Operations and Strategy. And then in the summer and fall, out of year 2 into the start of the 3rd year, that's when you'll do those great field studies, either the Global Access Program or the Business Creation option. And we even have a couple of boutique options, but I won't get into those yet. So this is half the program. This is 11 of the 20 courses. These are set. And after you're admitted, you get to choose from those 3 schedules: all day Saturday, Tuesday night, Thursday night, or hybrid, your choice. So 55%, 11 out of 20 of the courses are lockstep. Then you get to customize 45%. 9 of the 20 total courses you get to choose. So now they're going to be in yellow, and they happen here. So you have courses over the summer after year 1. You have a 1-week intensive opportunity. You don't have to do that between summer and fall. Then you take 2 classes in the winter, 2 classes in the spring, 1 elective each in the summer and the fall while you're doing your field study, and you graduate after 2.5 years. So by December of year 3, you are complete with the program. So that's a way it can go. You can also customize it. You can do it faster. We have people who do it in as short as 2 years. Most of those people are not changing jobs. They're people who are enhancing the job they already have, so they don't need the career services part. So they just blast on through while they keep working. And we have people who stretch it out. You can stretch it out all the way to 3 years. You can stretch it out to 4 years. You get a great promotion. You got to go to Asia for 6 months. Great, no problem. Take a leave of absence, come back, pick up where you left off. You get pregnant. Oh my gosh, here we are. Time to expand our family. You need to take a quarter, 2 quarters, a year. It's like an accordion. It can go short all the way down to 2. It can go out to 3. It can even go to 4 years. So you've got a lot of flexibility. Let's say after year 1, you're just a little bit like, whoa, that was a lot. I have a young family. I need to spend some time with my family. You could take summer off. You don't have to take those electives. So you could give yourself a break that summer. And instead you could just add a quarter at the end. I'll just take those 2 electives in winter. Or you could say, I don't want to take an elective while I'm doing field study the second year, no problem. And I don't want to do that 1-week elective. So you could add those electives at the end. Okay. So lots of flexibility. Shorten it down to 2, stretch it out to 3, even 4 years. Then the global immersions, those 1-week trips all around the world that I spoke of, those happen at your discretion, optionally on the breaks in the 2nd and 3rd year. So spring break, instead of just taking a week off school, you could go to Israel and check out the entrepreneurial scene over there. You could go lots of places around the world, to Finland. I mean, we go everywhere. And so that's where those happen, where those verticals are. And if your grades are good, if you have a 3, I think it's 3.4 or 3.5 or better, after the first 2 terms, you can even start the electives a quarter early in the spring of year 1. So It's a very complicated curriculum. It's got 100 different little sub things, but this is the basic map. And what we're proud of is the flexibility of it. You're coming into this program fully employed, and your time is precious. You're juggling a lot of things, and we want to give you maximum flexibility so that your career, which is already good, can get better while you go to school. So, I forgot to say, this is me. I'm an assistant dean. I have, this July will be the 10th year that I've been assistant dean. This August will be the 20th year I'm here at UCLA. I'm from Texas. That's the twang. I went to Texas A&M. I was a history major, thought I was going to go to law school. Took the LSAT with a hangover. Not recommended. The morning of the University of Texas A&M football game in Austin. My heart wasn't really in it. I'd been a National Merit Scholar. I used to be smart, and I was getting less smart as my higher education progressed. So I didn't go to law school. And it took a couple of years to figure out what I wanted to do. Actually, I took a year. And my dad's a minister. My mom's a school teacher. I love to read the newspaper, but I was always like, what's the business section about? It was all Greek to me. And so I thought, well, let me get an MBA. And I applied. I got admitted to Chicago as the second youngest person in my class. I'd been a college recruiter for a year, and then I went to Mexico and lived with a Mexican family. So I showed up at Chicago like, had no idea what I was doing. It was painful. I felt like everyone's younger kid brother. There were 550 people in my class. I only ever met one person younger than me, a guy named Brad Shamanik. So, it wasn't super pleasant, but it gave me an education, gave me the credibility, opened doors. And I spent 6 years with Siemens, the German electronics company, started in Santa Clara, was there 2 years, and then got a world promotion to the world headquarters in Munich, Germany. And for 3 years, I lived in a corporate penthouse apartment in Munich, Germany. It was incredible. And my salary doubled from the time I was in Santa Clara to the time I was in Germany, because I got a cost of living allowance, a housing apartment, so housing allowance. And I paid off half my student loans in those 3 years. And the whole time I was pinching myself going, how did Dylan Stafford from Denison, Texas end up in Munich, Germany? So it was a total wow MBA result. And that's part of my passion for this line of work that I'm in. This is not just any old graduate degree. This is a very specific, practical, aim it at something, aim it at a big challenge, make a big result happen type graduate degree. This is not a esoteric, philosophical study of the nature and foundations of thought or reality. This is a practical degree to get stuff done out there in the real world with people, complexity, and all that goes with it. And it really opened up my whole world. So anyway, I've written a couple books since I've been here. I've admitted 5,000 of the 7,000 total FEMBAs in the history of the program. So I'm a big cheerleader for higher education, for America, for UCLA, and for this program. So I'm also a podcaster. I just recorded, I think, my 85th podcast last Friday. I've listened to a lot of stories just in general, but in the last few years, I've been doing these podcasts, and these are real people, current and alumni, even some faculty, if you go back to the older ones. And I'll just show you some, these 6 people we did last summer, they were nominated by their peers. So these were the summer spotlights from last year's graduating class. James there, top left, he was a consultant with Accenture for 6 years. His parents moved to America from China with very blue collar entry level jobs in the Northeast. He's first generation college, went to Syracuse and was just killing it. He had a post MBA consulting gig, but he wanted a new adventure. He came to California and reinvented himself. And now he's in health tech, and he went back to the East Coast to be closer to his family. So he really used the MBA to reinvent out of consulting and place himself into health tech, and to relocate back east after having a wonderful 3-year California adventure. Derek in the middle there was a professional football player for 6 seasons or 7 seasons, played with 5 different teams. He has the distinction of having intercepted, he was a defensive back. He intercepted both Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in his career. Very few people can say they did that. And he is now working full-time with the NFL in a player development program, helping educate NFL players for life after the NBA. Totally cool guy. Commuted from San Diego, raising his son down there, single father. Really, really inspiring story is Derek's. Maxine Hupy, top right, was a professional dancer. She started ballet when she was 12, was a dance major at Northwestern, came to Los Angeles after college and made her living for a decade as a professional dancer, was on CeeLo Green's Las Vegas tour, and then I think there were 10 people on that tour. And then he said, hey, I'm going on a world tour. I get to take 4 of you. She got chosen, went like on a 2-year world tour with him. And then she was getting to the end of her dance career, reinvented her career. And she's now a senior consultant with Deloitte. And, you know, kind of neat. So she's just her interview is really, really cool. Bottom left, Ben Rovner. He was a professional actor, had a small company on the side. His wife is a PhD in architecture. The day I recorded this, he was getting ready to graduate, and he had a brand new 5-day-old daughter. He is now, after being an actor successfully, professionally, he's now a consultant with Boston Consulting Group. And the famous line in his podcast was, I didn't even know what consulting was when I got here. Arun Mathai in the middle is he's in the finance team at LACMA and wants to make his whole career there. He does a very specialized form of Indian dance on the side. So he danced all the way through school, but really he's an enhancer. Didn't want a new job, didn't want a new company, just wanted to make sure that he was going to have a lifetime of value add at LACMA, where he runs finance. And then Megan Roberts was our student body president last year. She works at Nielsen IQ. Her father is a graduate, and she's got a funny quote in her podcast. You know, whenever she'd get down, her girlfriends would remind her, remember, Megan, you're here so you can get a new pair of shoes. So that was her little catch line to keep going when things were tough. So I was going to try to copy this link and put it in how can I do this without turning off this? Oh, it's going to that's not what I want, but let me do this real quick. Let me just get this link because it's a giant, ugly link. It's totally not market friendly, but I will place it in the chat, and, you know, for later, check that out. That's where I'm sorry, these interviews are here and there and everywhere, but a bunch of them are located there. And these 6 that I just talked about are there. And these are great ways to get deep dive behind the scene experience from real people who really did the program. Then this next one, here's another link. I can't get these links, but the ones that I've been recording, I've recorded about 10 episodes this year, and they are located at a different location on our website. So you go to this link that I'm about to paste, live guide, just click the archived button, and you can see ones we've just recorded, or you click the upcoming button. So for instance, this Friday, I'm going to interview Kyle Brower, who is our newly elected student body president. Last Friday, I interviewed Carol Ann Link, Allyship, a Necessity for Life Learning and Leadership. Carol Ann is an amazing human being. Her essays, of the 5,000 people I've admitted to the program, her essays were probably top 10. They just made me weep. Her body deals with cerebral palsy. She's had that her whole life. And some of the challenges that she's overcome are just so humbling. And she works at UCLA and is on the committee that's bringing the Olympics, because UCLA will host the Olympics in 2028, both the Olympics and the Paralympics. So, these drive time stories, I'm a big fan of these because they are deep dives with people just like you, with big hopes and big dreams, who trusted UCLA. And you learn a lot about how people do grad school, because it's a special challenge. It goes quick. Nobody holds your hand. It's it's a big boy challenge for big people, big boys, big girls, big men, big women, big people. And these are real success stories that you can listen to and learn from. Here's my team. This is actually not even accurate. Christy's on maternity leave. We haven't had Christy all season. She got a beautiful new baby named Jordan, but Christy comes back May 1st. I just lost Roy. Oh, he's gotten a wonderful new promotion. He's now the director of pipeline development for Anderson. I'm very good at launching staff into great careers. So my team is actually kind of small right now. Raymond is the guru of all of our marketing and communications. Erin, you'll meet when you apply to the program. She makes sure that we get all your transcripts and materials. Chris is our director of admissions operations. He keeps the trains on time. And then Miss Cynthia, she's the office manager, runs the whole show. So this is my team. You'll meet along the way. We have all of these students are FEMBassadors who are ready and willing and waiting to meet you. I'll get this chat. These are all volunteers working professionally full-time, but they check their email. All their LinkedIn profiles are online, and they want to help you. They want to help you get your questions answered. They want to meet you. So please take advantage of them. And let me get that link and throw it in the chat also. All right. And what? Okay. So we are into, and there's still time to apply this year. I'll say this a couple times, make sure you're here. If you want to start the program this fall, you can still apply. We just had our third round deadline on April 5th. And this is our bonus round, round 4, which will keep the application open until May 31st. So there's still time. Take the GMAT, take the GRE, 2 letters of rec, 2 essays. There is still time to start this journey this year. There's not a super Saturday with the bonus round. So if we like your application, we'll call you and talk to you over the phone, invitation only. And there's not a set decision release. We just release as we go. So right now, everybody applied for round 3. We're getting them ready to interview this coming Saturday. Then we'll get those applications read. Then all the applications that arrive until May 31st, we will read and get the decisions out just as quickly as we can. So there is still time to start the program this year. All right, so back to audience participation. These are the 5 buckets that people are in when they think about a fully employed MBA program. They got a great job and they just want to enhance it. Okay, I like my job, I like my company. I just want to go from individual contributor to manager, manager to director. That's called being an enhancer. Or my job's okay, but I'm really open to switch. I really actually know I want to switch. I just don't want to be unemployed while I do it. So that's called being a switcher. And then we have a third category, explorer. Maybe I want to stay here. Maybe I want to switch. I'm not sure, but I want to expand my opportunity set of choices for sure. That's called being an explorer. Then we have our entrepreneurs, people who know they want to start something new. And then we have our family business folks. And maybe it's not right now. Maybe you're going to inherit it 10, 15, 20 years from now. So you don't necessarily work for the company business yet, the family business yet, but you know that you will have to run it. You know, apartment buildings you're going to inherit, a portfolio of assets you're going to need to manage, all the different complexity of family business. So those are the 5 buckets that people are typically in. So in the chat, just kind of tell me, you know, like, what do you see? Entrepreneurship. All right. Tell me, are you self-described? Exploring, enhancing, enhancing, explore, enhance, switch, explore, enhance. Excellent. Entrepreneurship. Good. Enhancing, explore, and family business. Thank you. There we go. Enhancing. All right. Enhancing. More often than not, fully employed MBA programs help people enhance. That's kind of built into it. Like, I got a job that's too good to quit. All right. Enhancing, switching, and exploring. I love that. And that's the beauty too. The point of the exercise is you could be any of the 5, you could be any combination of the 5, and you can change your mind while you're here. And I'll give you a couple examples later of people who changed their mind while they were here. We will meet you where you are. Our career services team will help you if you want to enhance the job you already have at Boeing or Google or Disney. How do I get up the ladder within the company where I'm already established? We'll help you with that. I want to switch to something new. We'll help you with that. I don't know what I want to do. I just want to see what else is out there. We'll help you explore. Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, we have the business creation option, help you launch a company. And if you're getting ready to inherit a family business someday, we can help you map out a plan to be able to do that. We'll meet you where you are, and we'll give you 2.5 years of great coaching and counsel such that you leave here with a plan, not just for while you're in school, but for the next decade, next 2 decades. You'll have the education, you'll have the network, you'll have the confidence to take a good life and turn it into a great life. So we transformed careers. 2019 graduates, we surveyed them for the first time ever, 4 months after graduation. Hey, what's the difference to your salary from when you started the program to 4 months after? We had always had kind of an internal survey. In the internal survey, it always said between about 23 and 34%. So the career services team tracked everybody down. They wanted a really high, they called people and called people and called people until they got to a 75% answer rate. And 75% of the class of 2019, the average increase in their salary was 49%. So we like that number. Like, that's good. But we didn't trust it because it was way higher than what we were used to. So we didn't even talk about it too much. We said, well, we'll just wait and then we'll see what it is in 2020. And what happened between 2019 and 2020? The world went to hell. Yes, COVID. So we went ahead to 2020 and we're anticipating, oh my God, what's the COVID impact going to be? It's probably going to be, plus 10%. It's probably going to be horrible. But no, it got even better the second year. Again, 75% of the people reporting. And then last year, plus 62%. So again, these are very high, these are very statistically valid because it's not just 10 or 15%. It's not a small random sample. This is actually 75% of the people in the class, each of the last 3 years reporting. So as you're kind of looking at your own life, you know, are you on track for a 49, 55 or 62% 3-year growth in your salary? I'm not, right? That's not going to happen. You know, we're happy we get 5%, right? So that's what this is about, right? Like if you trust us and you give us your time and your money and your hard effort while you keep a job, we'll put you in such a catalytic environment. The faculty are world-class. Your classmates are amazing. The career services team are offering you all of this coaching, growth, and development. And you get into a faster energy. You get more connections. You are surrounding yourself with resources. And before you know it, good stuff is happening. And I'll give you some more examples of that. So where are they now? I have been talking your ear off for 31 minutes. And now I'm going to show you this fun little video. And I have to remember to turn the sound a certain way. Share. Okay. All right. I'll do that. So I'm going to show you this video. And this video was made by a bunch of people in the class of 2014. So everybody you're about to see in this video, it's 1 minute long. It's a spoof on a beer commercial. It's called The Most Interesting MBA in the World. But everyone you see in the video was a current student 7.5 years ago. And then I'm going to show you where they are now. And you're going to ask yourself in your life, wow. So all told, from the time they started the MBA, from the time they sat where you're sitting to now 7 years after graduation. So a decade from now, where could I be? So that's the question I want you to ask yourself as you watch this video. And let me find, oh my God, I've got so many screens open. I think it's this one. All right. And give me just a second. Okay. I hope I got this right.
Cats climb trees just to be rescued by him. Goals orient.
Oh, excuse me. So sorry. What did I do? Hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Cats climb trees just to be rescued by him. Goals orient towards him. He once donated blood to save the life of the party.
Это не сработает. Я не понимаю, о чем ты говоришь.
이것은 거래가 안 되겠네요. We need to have a better plan.
И твой босс тоже не понимает, что он делает. 一定不对的。
He's the language of business.
Deal.
He is the most interesting MBA in the world.
Never considered an MBA, but when I did, I preferred UCLA Anderson. Stay educated, my friends.
Haha. All right. Oh my goodness, I got too many screens. All right, were you able to see that okay? Could you hear it? Okay, awesome. Great, great, great. All right. So what I want to, no, don't play again. That's not what I want. Give me just 1 second while I get myself, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh my God. Oh, it's been a long day. I'm having trouble moving to the next slide. So Polished by Diamonds, Diamonds Polished by Diamonds was the name of that team. And Anastasia Ali, Melissa Ryan, Tim, Kwa, Diana, Dania, Linda, and Rose. And the metaphor of the reason they chose Polished by Diamonds Productions, that was the name of their fake production company when they made that. We had a video competition. If you could make a 1 minute video to show at the Super Bowl to talk about Anderson, what would you make? And that was their video submission. And the idea of Diamonds Polished Diamonds is an idea we talk about in our admissions world, which is when you write your admission essays, you want to talk about what makes you sparkle. What makes you shine? What makes you light up? And you don't want to just tell us what you think we want to hear. You actually want to tell us, like, the reason I want to get an MBA is because I want to make something happen in my career. And an MBA is an incredible way to make something happen in your career. And if we put a room full of diamonds together, the light from you sparkling and shining reflects off all the other diamonds in the room. And it creates a very bright space where you can look and you can see and you can dream and you can discover and you can do things together that you can't do by yourself. And that's a metaphor that I love to talk about as we build a learning community. We've got world-class research faculty at the front of the room. And if we put a room full of hungry, keen, eager listeners and learners in the seats of the room, everybody wins. And it makes for a really special environment. And now I want to show you, where are they now? Okay, the most interesting MBA in the world. Where are they now? If you just type UCLA most interesting MBA, you can ever get back to that. So Melissa is a business manager at Dole. She was one of the party people coming into the party. Sagar is a director of innovative therapy development at Abbott. Okay, now remember these titles because I'm going to show you kind of what happens to people's salaries in a minute. Ksenia, she's amazing. She is the founder and CEO of UNest, which is an investment group that invests primarily in female-owned businesses. Jennifer is a senior director at Iovance Biotherapeutics. Diana, there in the back, she's a little bit faded out. She was actually an executive MBA student who got on this team, and she was a managing partner with Empower House Fitness. Bryce is an assistant VP with Wilshire Associates. Linda is a senior manager at American Express. Kwa, there playing the guitar, is a senior director at Salesforce. Rose, in the middle on the back, is a global technology partner with Google. Ryan, the most interesting MBA in the world, he's now a director and HR business partner at PayPal. And Dania in the top right is with Bain as a data venture development specialist. And you can't see it because I cut it off, but his last name is Guterson and her last name is Guterson. So they're actually one of our FEMBA love stories. So they started dating during the program. So not only did they each transform their career, but he found his wife and she found her husband. So all kinds of networks happen in a place like this. And last but not least, Anastasia Ali, who you never saw because she was the producer and director. She was the brains behind the whole thing. She just became a vice president at Disney last year. And I wanted to just kind of show you. So, we're talking about 10 years from now to graduation, 2.5, 3 years, and then 7 years after you graduate. So about 10 years from where you are now to where you could be. And you could have a title like all those folks that you just saw, director and above. So before FEMBA, Anastasia was the co-owner and the chief operating officer for an entertainment company. She was in the entertainment world as an entrepreneur, small business owner. During FEMBA, she did an internship. She was an MBA marketing intern for both the fall and winter. So she quit, or she worked part-time with her old company, did 6 months with Disney. She graduated in 2014, and then she was hired by Disney full-time. So what happens? You do an internship. FEMBAs have the chance to do an internship, just like our full-time students. Then she was hired by Disney in a manager rotation program, the associate development program. She did that for 2 years. She earned a senior manager role after that. She did that from 17 to 19. Then she was promoted from senior manager to director. She did that for 2 years. And then she became a vice president last year. So is her example a really super shiny, extra special one? Yes, of course. But when you saw the titles of all of those folks in the video with her, she's all the way to VP. She's on the super fast track, but everyone is doing really well. And that's what happens when you get an MBA while you keep your job from a school like UCLA. So this is a big investment, time, money, and effort. That's the input. That's what you give. And education, experience, and network. That's the output. That's what we give to you. And you marry that input and that output, and you create these kinds of results. So back to the chat. Let me get my chat box back on. This is a esoteric philosophical question. Why should you make a big investment, a big 6-figure investment? This thing costs about $135,000. It's about it's $1,690 per unit for 20 units. So I'm sorry, for 80 units. I said that wrong. I did the math wrong. So it's about 135,000 over the 2.5 years of the program. So throw some things in the chat. Oh, and thank you for the notes. That was fun. That was adorable. Thank you guys. They worked hard on that video. But why should you invest in you, right? Why shouldn't you just let your company invest in you, or maybe wait for somebody to discover you? That's what happened when I came to LA. Somebody's going to discover me. I'm still waiting for that discovery to happen. So why should you invest in you? Tell me in the chat. Better investment than buying a Porsche. There you go. If you have the opportunity to make yourself better and don't, you'll regret it forever. Wow. Very true, Mike. Very true. They say a lot of times on our deathbed, we don't regret the things we tried and failed, right? We regret the things, I wish I would have been a stand-up comedian, right? Anybody else? Why should you step forward and invest in your own growth and development? Who else would like to share? Those were great. Jorge and Mike, thank you. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I think I'm worth it. Who else is going to do it? Personal investment provides positive motivation. Excellent. I just don't stop growing and moving. Thank you, Trish. Yes. Yes. Maybe one more. Best way to learn new items that would take years longer to learn on the job. You're your greatest resource. Excellent. Yes. All these good things. I'm going to show you a link to a podcast from a woman named Tori Brodsky, who is a current student in the program. And she, give me 1 second. She is a really cool entrepreneur. She created this company called Drink Light. This is her product, and it comes in the mail. It says drinking tonight, and you open it up, and drinking tonight, do more tomorrow. And then she's got these cool little things. So how to celebrate. So number 1, celebrate responsibly. Number 2, enjoy your night by mixing 1 moonlight with 12 ounces of water before you go to bed. Number 3, the next day, start with 1 sunlight with 12 ounces of water. And number 4, be your best self. So this is her product, these little packets. She was a nutrition major in undergrad at Berkeley, and now she is an entrepreneur launching her company at UCLA Anderson. And I'll give you the link to her podcast. It's on that live guide link that I posted earlier. But she's very clear that she's halfway through the program. She's not even done yet. And she's very clear that this accelerated her by at least a decade. So somebody said that earlier about, who said it earlier, that you can learn more quickly. Yeah, best way to learn new items that would take years longer. So Adarsh, I'm actually picking up on your comment. So great comments, everyone. So why should you make a big investment in you? And all of those answers are great. And you're already successful. You know, like here's an argument. Well, I don't know if I should make a big investment. I mean, I'm already doing okay. Maybe I don't need to do this. So this is my very fancy, powerful. I spent big money on these graphics. So please, ooh and ah. This is you without UCLA, right? 2022. So these are decades forward, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. We're all going to live to be like 109. It's crazy how long we're going to live. So it's okay to play the long game, right? Get a graduate degree, get an incredible network, get that confidence. But even if you never go to grad school, you're going to be okay. If you're here tonight, we have, 79 people here. You're educated. You got other things to do. You're choosing to listen to me for an hour. Oh my God, you're very patient, right? But you're up to big things and you're looking to see, do I trust UCLA to be my partner to do more big things? So you're going to be okay. Up and down, nobody's perfect, but your trajectory is good. So here comes the fancy graphic. 1, 2, 3. This is you with no UCLA. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! That's it, baby. That's you with UCLA. Zhao, you're driving. Don't crash. I know this is exciting. You're making me nervous over there while I show you these fancy graphics. All right, so going back. No UCLA, good trajectory. Yes, UCLA, great trajectory. That's the name of the game. Thank you for pulling over. Now you can appreciate this and I'm not going to have a heart attack. All right. That's the name of the game. You're already on an upward steep trajectory and we want to raise that. Right. And my argument is that trajectory is more important than position. At any moment we have a position. We have an up year, we have a down year. Sales were great, sales were bad. We're always at a position, but it's our long-term aim where the compounding happens. And if you take a good trajectory and raise it 1 degree over a decade, your destination is so much expanded. And that's the game we play, right? Trajectory beats position. If we can help you raise your sights, I never even thought about being an entrepreneur. And then I came to Anderson and oh my God, I got these classmates and they're always talking about starting stuff. And it got me thinking maybe I could start stuff. And then I'm in a group with a woman who created this nutrition hangover medicine. Oh my God, I'm in another group with a guy who wrote a book. This is another one of my podcasts, Stephen Johnson, father of 4, grew up in a single family household, South Central, got a basketball scholarship to go to Crossroads, then came to UCLA and was a science major, and then decided he wanted to create an inner city tutoring company. And now after his MBA, he's created a minority-owned business investment firm. His name is Stephen Johnson. I'll show you the link where you can hear his podcast. You hang around people with dreams like that and it's contagious, gets on you. So rather than just the return on investment, and remember we said 49%, 55%, 62%, even more important, it's to give yourself a new trajectory. That's what I love about what I get to do. And the question for you tonight, like a lot of people are like, oh, should I do the full-time program? Should I do the part-time program? Should I do the executive program? All 3 of our programs have the same faculty. All 3 of our programs put the same diploma on the wall. You're part of the same alumni network. Everybody has access to the full campus. But if you do the Fully Employed MBA program, you keep your job. So the way you decide which programs for you is ask yourself these questions. Do I like my job? Yes or no? A little or a lot? Do I like my boss? Yes or no? A little or a lot? Am I still learning? Are they investing in me? Right? People don't quit jobs, they quit bosses, right? If you got a good boss, hang on. A good boss is a good thing. Do you like real-time results? You want to learn it on Saturday and use it on Monday. If you answer yes to 2 out of those 3 questions, we may be the program for you, right? If you know you want an MBA, but I worked hard to get here. I don't want to give this up. And you know what? They still believe in me. I haven't hit my ceiling yet. And I like to use my MBA while I get my MBA. If the answer to some of those questions is yes, then that's why we built the FEMBA program. There's some people who just, quitting my job for 2 years, being a full-time student, that doesn't make sense. And they're not really all the way to the end of their 30s, early 40s, where our executive MBA students are typically. So same faculty, same diploma, same campus while you keep your job. And you get to say, I'm a grad student at UCLA. I'm getting my MBA at UCLA. So we'll just pause for a second. Just wanted you to play this out. Cocktail party. What do you do? Oh, tell me about you. A little LA West Side chit chat, Hollywood Hills. Oh, I'm getting my MBA at UCLA. Just say it in your mind, I mean, you could at least go to the movies and show the thing and get the student discount. I mean, that's bare minimum, but it's good. It's good cocktail trivia, right? It's nice conversation starter. You're also part of the UCLA Alumni Network, one of the top 5 alumni networks of all the universities in the United States. It's Penn State, Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, I think, and then us. 540,000 alumni spread around the world, over 100 countries. Of those 540,000 alumni, 41,000 are graduates of Anderson, and of those 41,000, 7,000 of those are FEMBAs. So you're part of the FEMBA network, the Anderson network, the UCLA network. If you've traveled the world, you know that here in America, it's called UCLA. Many parts of the world, it's UCLA or UCLA, right? This is one of the most recognized university brands. Travels with you. It'll totally take care of you if you want to have a life in California, and it'll take you around the world. So our 3 pillars, I said them earlier: think fearlessly, share success, drive change. I want to just elucidate those real quick. I'm going to see if I can turbo here for about 10 minutes, then we'll do some questions. And those correlate to more money, more friends, more confidence, right? Think fearlessly. I'm better at my job. I can make more money. Share success, right? We talk about you start the program, you shake hands at the end of the program. Those handshakes turn into hugs. And confidence. I'm going to have there's an X factor confidence with getting a graduate degree in general, but specifically an MBA, and really specifically an MBA from a top tier school. Somewhere through the program, you'll just stand a little taller. You'll raise your hand in a meeting and look at your hand and go, how did you get up there? I have an idea. I have a recommendation. May I make a proposal next month? Okay, great. And you'll go back and you'll do the work with your new MBA. And next month you'll come back to that same team meeting with a proposal, and people will say, I like what Madison's talking about. I like what Shelby has to offer. Laura's got some good ideas. Wow. Okay. Yeah. What do you need? You need people, you need money, you need a green light, you need authority rights, right? If you're an entrepreneur, you can go get people to loan you money. Here's my business plan. I'm looking for 500,000, your own very own personal Shark Tank, all like that. So just to hit these 3 pillars quickly: share success, handshakes to hugs. You start the program, you shake hands, very formal orientation week. Hello, hello, hello. When you get to graduation, oh my God, I love you, man. Right? You're hugging, you're friends for life. These are friends that will go with you. That's the kind of place this is. It's not our former Dean Ole and Judy Ole, and she used to love, we're not pointy elbows and sharp knees. This is a California cultural kind of thing. People work really hard, but they also play hard, and they play hard together, and they play well with others. Think fearlessly, peer around corners, anticipate what's coming next, be comfortable with all the emerging technologies. Half the cool jobs that people will do 5 years from now, of course, haven't been invented yet. So might as well be on the front edge of that cutting edge, and driving change, that X factor confidence, right? I can do this. I invested in myself. I've got the education, I've got the network, I've got the connections, and I've got the confidence. So this is roughly 1,000 days, from now until 2.5 years from now, 3 years from now, it's about 1,000 days. It's 1,000 days to experiment on yourself, 1,000 days to reinvent, 1,000 days to take a good trajectory and make it a great trajectory. Aim a little higher or aim a lot higher, right? And, you get 0.1% better every day for 1,000 days. That's 100% better. And that does not account for, compound interest. And that doesn't account for breakthroughs. It doesn't account for stair steps. That's just thinking linearly. But the reason people get plus 49, plus 55, plus 62% career results is they expand their thinking of what they are capable of. If you just need a 10% raise, you do not need a graduate degree in business. Just work hard. Take the boss to lunch. Remember their kids' birthdays. There are simpler ways to get a 10% raise. But if you want to transform your career, then we could be for you. So those are our 3 pillars: think fearlessly, share success, drive change. A couple examples. When's the best time to look for a job? In the chat, or somebody raise their hand. Always. Yes, Alana, there you go. Always. That's the best answer ever. Best time to look for a job all the time. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. The best time to look for a job, just in the interest of time, I'm going to go forward, is while you have a job, right? And what's going to happen in FEMBA is you're going to hire each other, and you're going to sit in a room full of people with a job that's too good to quit. I was a full-time student at University of Chicago booth. Woo woo. Fancy, joy. But 100% of my 555 classmates had a job they were willing to quit. We were the fully unemployed MBA class of 1995 at the Chicago booth, Graduate School of Business. It was good. It did what it's supposed to do, but it was not a fully employed MBA experience. So sitting in a room with 65 other people who all have a job, right? There's a lot of networking available, right? These are just some of the companies that you'll be in class with if you come to UCLA, right? Big name brands that you've recognized. But the majority of people at UCLA are working for companies that you don't even recognize. 90% of people who work in LA County work for an employer with fewer than 100 employees, right? We're not a Fortune 500 city. We are scrappy, hungry. We are first generation immigration. We are media technology convergence. We are sports and entertainment. We are nanotech in Silicon Beach, right? This is a city that hustles. And you will be in a room full of people who are high energy, hustle factor, grit, perseverance, making stuff happen. And they will be at really boutique little places that are not all these big name brands here. And they'll be just as interesting as the people at Disney and Google and Northrop. And it all comes together for this big tossed salad of opportunity. So here's my, this podcast is my $100 million podcast. Brian, the guy behind the door, he created a company while he was here. And he already cashed out, but when this picture was taken, they were on their 3rd round of financing, and they had just crested over 100 million in total VC funding through the first 3 rounds. And they reinvented self-storage. They created a company called Clutter, and it still exists. You see these big teal vans running around. And if you take a screenshot of that, it takes too long for me to paste it. But it's an audio only podcast for my first iteration of Drive Time podcasts. And every time they opened up a new city, they would hire 2 MBAs, a director of operations and a director of marketing. And this was a entrepreneurial idea that he launched here during the business creation option with Professor Shinerock. And it's just awesome. You know, you hang around somebody who's doing that, it makes you think, well, maybe my little drink light company idea could actually work, right? It's that confidence, knowing how to talk about it, knowing how to map it out. What's the minimum viable product? What's the business plan? What is it that an investor wants to see such that people want to play with me, right? So drive change, confidence. What do alumni miss most after they graduate? They miss each other. They miss each other. You know, the San Diego folks, we have people who fly down from the Bay Area. We have people, about 15% of our people are out of state. We have people who drive up from San Diego and do the all-day Saturday section. And, you know, they just meet at the Denny's on the north side of San Diego at 6:55 in the morning. Okay, who's driving this week? They all jump in one car. They drive up, do the 2 classes. Then they hang out, have an LA Saturday night, and then you drive home. It's like a 14, 15-hour day. And, you know, they're this band of brothers and sisters. And they always say, yeah, all we talk about driving up Saturday morning is school. And all we talk about driving home Saturday night is anything but school, right? Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, kids, promotions, challenges, good bosses, bad bosses. And that camaraderie gets you through. And that camaraderie lays the foundation for lifetime friendships. You know, people you can just call, hey, hey Jenny, it's Dylan. Yeah, I got a real estate question. I know you're really good at real estate. Can I run something by you? Hey, Julian. Yeah, it's Dylan. I know you're an expert in crypto and I got an investment deal. Could you look at it, right? And that expands your ability to make stuff happen in the world, right? And it's not just business connections. It's business connections that become friends. Thinking fearlessly, okay? Just to re-hit that point. If you just need a 10% raise, you don't have to do this. But if you really want to transform your trajectory, give yourself a stair step and raise your trajectory, aim higher. That's what we're about. Somebody asked in the chat earlier about the median. Does this show the median? I don't have the median. I'm sorry, I don't have that data in front of me. Somebody asked in the chat earlier, but you can take a screenshot of this. These are the raw numbers for those last 3 years. So class of 19, 20, 21, incoming salary. So this was the average salary starting the program, 89,000, 87,000, 90,000, 4 months post-graduation, 133, 136, 147, average sign-on bonuses, 30, 31, 30. So those those 3 bumps, 49, 55, 62%. Sorry, I don't have the median. Salaries also go up, you know, all those titles I showed you on the video with the most interesting MBA in the world. This is a one-time data point. It's a little dusty now, but Bloomberg Business Week did a third-party analysis of the top tier schools. Where are the alumni 5 to 8 years after they graduate the program? Our FEMBA's reported 137% increase when they responded to that survey. I wish we had more of those surveys, but that was a one shot. But to just look at that on a graph, just, yeah, everybody knows their number, you know, just get your calculator, right? Here we are in 2022. You'd be part of the class of 2025 if you apply by the end of May. By May 31st, you could be starting this program this end of August. So 3 years from now, you know, take your salary and multiply it by 1.49, 1.55, 1.62, right? See where you'd be. And if you want to see where you'd be 10 years from now, multiply by 2.37. I don't even know how to do the math. What's a 137% raise look like? We have to take your today's salary and multiply by 2.37, right? But mostly, I mean, last year's average salary, I think, was 105,000. So the average entering salary crested 100,000 during COVID. So, you know, rough math, 100,000 at the start of the program, 10 years later, you know, you're making 237. And when you look at Anastasia, right, she went from an intern to a senior manager to a director to a VP. And even when you saw the titles of the other FEMBAs, you can see how it works. So these are the deadlines until May 31st, round 4. We will only do invitation only on that for the interviews, but you still have a chance. We're aiming for a class between 235 and 250. We've had a really good quality in the first 2 rounds. We're about to read round 3. It's just the rounds are small. Everybody's kind of small. We're down, Berkeley's down, USC is down. So The economy's good, which is kind of tough for us. So that's why I'm really wooing you with the big numbers tonight. Even in a good economy like this, it's not good for everybody. But if you're between the ages of 27 and 33 and you're good with a laptop and you're digitally savvy, and all those people above you in the organization have quit in the Great Resignation, right? Business is good. You've got a lot of opportunities. So, you know, you may be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this year or not. And we get it. We'll be here next year. We're not going anywhere. But if you do want to apply this year, if you think, you know what, I'd rather just get this thing started. You know, I want to get my graduate degree before I'm 30. And if I start now, I can accomplish that. Whatever your personal goals are, we are here. We are open like that. So trajectory beats position. You know, you can have a high point or low point in any given year, great sales, bad sales, but that's just a data point. That's just a moment in time. What's interesting is the longevity of my life. What am I aiming at? Okay. Better than ROI, give yourself a new trajectory. So we will, how'd I do on time? Oh, 7:01. Oh my God. Excuse me. Just going to brag about myself, break my arm, pat my own back. Okay. So I'll turn that off and open it up to Q&A. So yeah, start with Laura. Hi, how are you? And please, just two parameters. One, I would love to get to know you. So just a quick thumbnail, because it's also fun to kind of see who's here, who's learning about this. And then, oh, let me, I'll get I have this other link. Let me put this in the chat. Before I get to you, Laura, thank you for your patience real quick. Let me just get this link. You know, some of you have personal things you want to talk about, and obviously, you know, going to be comfortable talking about those in front of a large audience. So this link, if you'd like to just get on my calendar for a one-on-one, it goes 6 weeks out into the future. So please use that. So the two things, my request for everybody who offers or asks questions tonight, a quick thumbnail about yourself. I'd love to know a little bit about you. And then also just, this is for just kind of general questions. So if you think at least one other person would like the answer to your question. Okay. So don't go too specific. If you got super specific stuff, please get on my calendar, and myself or my team will meet you one-on-one. Be happy to Zoom. Hi, Laura. How are you tonight?
Hello. Hi, I'm Laura Jalalian. I live in LA. I head up artist partnerships for a live events company called So Far Sounds. My question was regarding the extended deadline. Does applying later put you at a disadvantage at all because it's like the fourth extended round?
I mean, no, we get between 600 and 800 apps per year, and our goal is 250 people. So we're not the undergraduate program. We're not going to get 149,000 applications. And if you go on websites, a lot of times they say, oh, quick, you must apply early. All of those websites are coaching people for full-time programs. Full-time programs have the opposite timing of part-time executive MBA programs. Full-time programs get their applications mostly in the first and second round, and part-time executive MBA programs get their applications in the last rounds, because people who are going to stay in the city they are in, keep the boss that they have, apply at the end. So we budget for that. So you have, you could apply up to the bitter end. I mean, the sooner you get it to us, the sooner we can read it and get you an answer, but you won't be disadvantaged.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thanks. Great question. All right. Got to move this around. Julian, hi.
I think Jason was first.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. I see that now. My apologies. Hi, Jason.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well. Tell me a tiny bit about yourself, and then I'd love to hear your question.
Yeah, my name is Jason Ransom. I live in Riverside, California, so about 50 miles away from you guys.
All right. Chris on my team is he's a double graduate, undergrad and MBA from Riverside. So he's a big fan.
Nice.
He's on the board. He's a big fan.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a sales manager for a manufacturing company out here. Been in that middle management role for a few years. So looking for ways to get out of there. But my question is based on GMAT requirements. I looked online and there wasn't anything specific that I saw. Just kind of have your GMAT ready. Is there a target score that you guys are looking for?
More like a range. 80% of our people are between about 630 and 730. So we're not rocket high like full-time programs. Well, like the top 10 full-time programs, we're better than most full-time programs, but our median average is going to be 670, 675, 680, something like that. So if you're aiming, don't aim for the 500s. That's not a great score in our world. Get out of the 500s. It's your GPA and your GMAT combination. Our, moving rough averages usually is about a 3.4 with a 675. And if you're taking the GRE, you can also take the GRE or you can take the executive assessment. If you take the GRE, you're looking for percentiles, aim for the 75th percentile or better in verbal and in quant. And if you can 65 in one, 80 in the other, that's great, something like that. So you don't have to have a 740 to earn a seat in FEMBA. It's more forgiving than our full-time program, and the test score matters, right? It's highly correlated with how people do in the first year of the program. So does that help, Jason?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
No, my pleasure. Yeah. And study for it, take it seriously, get a good breakfast that morning. The beauty of the working professional cohort is that your job is also important. You can't change your GPA. That was a long time ago, but being a middle manager, all those years of work experience, it's like 51% academics, 49% career. So, and I'm not saying this for you, Jason, but for anybody I know sometimes people are like, oh, my grades, I wasn't so serious back then, but look how well I've done in my career. Good. Because we will see that. We will see those promotions. We'll see the trajectory. We'll read the letters of rec, and all of that helps, right? This is a very practical degree. We're not admitting people who are going to become PhDs and generate new knowledge. We're admitting people who have shown that they're smart and hardworking, and that they are capable of going out there in the messy real world and mucking about and making stuff happen. So grit, perseverance, all of that matters also. And it's UCLA. So it's, it's rigorous, it's grad school. So, we're UCLA. So there's that, but don't get intimidated. Thank you so much, Jason. All right, Mr. Julian, thank you for your manners. I appreciate that. I just had not seen that square.
No worries. Yeah. So my name is Julian. I live in LA. I'm working for a tech company out of Glendale. I work in FP&A. Been working FP&A for the last 5 years. My question is, I'm a UCLA alum, and Raymond reached out about potentially opting out of the exams.
Yes, the Bruin Bridge,
Yeah.
yes.
So my question is around, does that put you at a disadvantage at all? One of the things that interested me in this is the fact that I don't really have the time between now and when the application is due to do the exams. So just trying to understand, would that put me at a disadvantage against other applicants?
Yeah, so I don't want to confuse everybody. We introduced a new program this year. We're actually taking a page from Berkeley. It's called the Bruin Bridge, and it is a GMAT waiver for people who've gone to UCLA before if they meet certain GPA requirements. So it doesn't apply to everyone. Historically, we required everybody to take the GMAT or GRE with the exception of medical doctors and PhDs. Those were the only waivers we ever offered. So this is an experiment pilot right now. So this is, just to give Julian and any other person who has a pre-existing degree, either undergraduate or graduate from UCLA, this information. So yeah, it's on our website. It's called Bruin Bridge. And it is, if you have a 3.2 or a 3.4, depending on your major, it is an opportunity to not have to take the exam. So the idea, Julian, if you meet the parameters that we require to offer you the waiver, then your GPA is going to compensate for the fact that you don't have that score. If you, graduated from UCLA with a 2.95, then we're going to say, no, you have to take the GMAT or GRE because you need to show us, another data point. Because, typically UCLA's standard for admission is a 3.0. We can make a petition. If you have below a 3.0, we can petition to admit you in spite of that. But if your grades are below a 3.4, below a 3.2, then the test score actually does help you. But if you have the grades to get the waiver, then you're not at a disadvantage.
Perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure. And welcome back. We love double Bruins.
Appreciate it.
And we love Berkeley and we love USC. All right. Any other questions? Anybody just want to raise their hand? When do I hear back if I apply in the next week? As soon, well, Soam, that's a great question, but we're going to read round 3 first because they're in front of you because they applied by the round 3 deadline. So we're going to read round 3. We're going to have the Super Saturday admission interview for them this Saturday, the 16th. Read them first. And then if you applied next week, you would be the next person that we would read. And we also need all the pieces of your application before we read it. So 2 letters of rec, 2 essays, single day best test score, your transcripts, all like that. All right. I believe Eva or Ava, I'm not sure. Hi. Oops, I can't hear you.
Eva, you're on mute.
Eva, we cannot hear you. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was muted.
Ah, perfect,
But
perfect.
but yeah, so you just talked about GPA and GRE score. I was wondering how important it is to have like good working experience when it comes to admission. Like I'm currently working for this company, but like it's not very related to like what I want to do. So like I feel like my current working experience is not helping me with the admission. So like can you tell me more about that?
Well, it's, I would say 51% academic, 49% your work experience, right? We're first an academic experience, but we're a practical academic. We're an applied degree. So
Okay.
the way to think about your job, nobody has their dream job in their 20s. I mean, maybe somebody, but 99 out of 100 people do all kinds of stuff in their 20s. That's like, yeah, I'll do this now, but this is not what I want to be doing in my 30s and 40s and beyond. Okay. So, you got to look for the transferable skills. You got to look for the little pieces that you're going to reconstitute into a bigger career later on.
Yeah.
Right. So don't apologize. You can be a barista, right? People, I showed you the actor and the dancer, right? Don't get self-critical. Everybody's got to start somewhere in life. And, a lot of us don't have a father who can, get us a really plum job straight out of undergrad. So look for the transferable skills and weave those into your admission essays. Because, one of the best teachers in the world is a really bad situation. Bad bosses teaches just as much as good bosses do. I'm working for a real jerk. I don't know what I'm going to do in life, but I'm never going to be like that person. Right. So there's always lessons to learn in life. And you want to take what you've been doing and weave that into you. The 2 essays are basically, where have you been? Tell us about you. That's the first essay. Where have you been up to this point? And then the second essay is, where do you want to go? And how do we help you get there?
Okay. Got it. And then also one more question. So like, I'm sorry. I got to figure out. It's okay. Thank you.
You're doing great. Excuse me, I'm coughing.
That makes me feel better though. So I was worried about like not having like good enough working experience because like people told me it's like very important. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just talk to lots of people, but also listen to your heart and your gut.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
That's, part of making big business decisions. Sorry, choked. Excuse me. Part of making big business decisions is getting comfortable dealing with cognitive dissonance. One mentor says, do it. One mentor says, don't do it. Right. Well, that's the way it is when it's big and complicated and there are multiple pathways. And an MBA is a degree in dealing with complexity. It's a degree in dealing with shades of gray. So all of this is part of your MBA journey. That's 1,000 days to reinvent yourself. My father loves to say, Dylan, they're always judging you in a job interview because how you represent yourself is also an example of how you would ever represent the company. So when you show up dressed and polished and prepared and ready to go to represent yourself, that's communicating to them, well, that's how that person would represent if we hired them, if they were a voice of our firm. So you're doing the due diligence, Ava, and it's all good work. So don't tell yourself it's supposed to look differently. This is what it looks like to think about graduate school. Especially, a business degree is it's very different. People at Google versus an entrepreneur versus someone in health tech versus someone in biotech versus someone in a family business. 5 different examples, 5 different MBAs, all taking the same classes. So it's a build your own adventure kind of thing. So you're doing the good work to get ready.
Okay, I see. All right. Thank you very much for your answer.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I think Shelby was next. Hi, Shelby.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Awesome. A little bit about myself. I'm a product quality analyst right now at Abbott. So I've been there for about 1.5 years now. Thanks. My question is about the teaching style of the program since it's so accelerated.
I'm sorry, was the question, what was the question?
What's the teaching style of the program since it's more accelerated?
Well, so there's a lot of case, there's a lot of group work, a lot of case discussion, kind of the Harvard model, but a lot of actual just learning how to manipulate the subject matter. So data and decisions, you're going to get a lot of, individual problems to solve. Like here is a big data set that you could receive in a modern managerial situation. And if you wanted to extract operational guidance, what would you do? How would you slice, dice, and parse that data? So in a operations and technology management class, it might be more individual work like you're used to in undergrad, but you're also taking organizational behavior that fall, which is more business psychology, lots of group scenarios. Here's a CEO having trouble with the board. What did that CEO do? What would you do if it was your company? Lots of kind of applied, no right answer, lots of shades of gray. So, but I'm not sure how I communicated that the program was accelerated. This is a good pace of graduate school while you keep a full-time job, 2 classes per quarter. So it's about 20 hours a week, roughly about 7 hours of class. And then we suggest 2 hours outside of class for every hour inside class or more, but maybe 7 hours in class, 7 hours of my personal study, and then 7 hours of group time. So the teaching style is the same style that the faculty use to teach the daytime students who don't have a job, and the same faculty teach in all 3 of our programs. So they have the same class that they teach to the daytime students Monday through Thursday during working hours, and then they'll teach the same class to part-time, us, the FEMBA program, and executive MBA students also. So sorry, it's not a super tight answer, but I think what you would see is that this program is very similar to what you would get at any of the top tier MBA schools, because that's the caliber of faculty that we have. But they know you're working, they know you're working full time, they know you're going to hear it on Saturday, use it on Monday morning. So when I've heard the faculty, you never compare your children to each other. So we have 3 children, our full-time students, our part-time students, our executive MBA. And you never compare. If you have 3 kids, you don't compare, oh, here's my beautiful child, here's my handsome child, and here's Dylan. You don't do that. So there are strengths and weaknesses to all the programs, but they are actually just 3 different schedule choices to earn the same degree. So what faculty enjoy about FEMBAs and MBAs is that they are a little bit older and they're a tiny bit more serious, I guess. I don't mean, that's not to denigrate anything, but there's a kind of right now pragmatism about a person who still has a boss, kind of just get me to the punchline. How do I use this? I really actually want to try this out this week and then come back next week and tell you how it went. So their style, I guess, is these are PhD research faculty in all the core classes. And then the electives are taught by a blend of both PhD research faculty and industry experts, practitioners who don't have PhDs, but they've run $1 million companies on their own, et cetera, et cetera. But what they all have in common is, we want to help you do something with this MBA that you could not do without the MBA. So I think the style is like, we have curated this. You could Google it, that's all great. Google's wonderful, but how do you know that you Googled the right thing? So this is to have guides. What you're paying us over $100,000, but what we give you are guides who've done all the heavy lifting. I know about finance. I studied finance for 10 years to become a doctor in finance. So I'm going to tell you the most important part of finance that you need to know to run a modern organization. So I don't know if I can answer the style question, but I can answer the question of what they're aiming to accomplish, which is, 11 classes are set. That's the core curriculum. And then 9 classes are customizable. The 11 core courses are the things that you just need to know, that everybody expects you to know. Once you put MBA on your resume, people are just going to assume you know some stuff. So we want to make sure you have that. And then the 9 classes that you customize, you want to focus on finance, you want to focus on entrepreneurship, you want to focus on real estate, you want to focus on entertainment, then that's your chance to deep dive into the areas that are germane to you.
Awesome. Thank you. I just had one other question. If you
Sure.
have
Please.
tips for applying or, even likelihood of acceptance.
Oh, great. Well, two different questions, 2 great questions. My tips for applying, thank you for asking. And it goes back to the diamonds, polished diamonds thing. Sometimes people give us the answer they think we want to hear. It's like we ask 2 sequential questions. The first question is, can you do graduate level work at UCLA? So we look at your transcripts, what you majored, where you studied, how you did. We look at your single day best test score. So if you take the GMAT twice, we take the highest score. That gives us a sense of your academic ability. This is graduate school. This is graduate school at UCLA. This is not undergrad. This is a quick program, 2.5 years, not 4 years. So you do have to have kind of the academic chops. Once you clear that gate, the second evaluation is more like chemistry and fit. And that's the soft skills. That's the human component. That's where your essays, your recommendations, an interview if you have one, your resume. And what we're looking for there is, we have a very strong idea of what the program will give to you, but we want to learn what will Shelby bring to the program. So my advice for applying, as you write your essays, as you gather all these materials, it's just like doing a job search, right? Like, what's out there? I could go to Google, I could go to Facebook, I could go to this boutique, right? I have choices. So I'm doing my due diligence and I'm doing some assessments, get a sense of, what's my value in the marketplace? Where do I fit? What are the levels of jobs I'm qualified to apply for now? Who are my references? Who would vouch for me? Taking the time to write my statement. That's, what's this trajectory? What am I aiming at? Why is this company a good fit for me? Why is this school a good fit for me? All of this due diligence helps you write the narrative of your life. So my best advice is, enjoy that journey. This is 6 weeks worth of work, let's say, a month's worth of work, 2 weeks worth of work, depending, right? Somewhere in there, if you're going to apply this year, or you may wait and apply next year, and then you're going to take even longer, and that's fine too. But don't have it be a hollow exercise. A lot of us go to undergrad just because it's the next thing to do. But graduate school is totally optional. It's a real adult decision, and enjoy that. It's a big, fun, demanding opportunity. It's a big challenge. But if you go to a place like UCLA, you'll be proud that you did. So assume, think positive, assume you're getting in, give us your best presentation of yourself, choose your recommenders, choose people who like you / love you, who are willing to take 20 minutes to write some beautiful things about you, ask them in person, take them a copy of your resume, appreciate them in advance. It doesn't take long. You just register their email and it's pretty quick on their side, but it's a big deal to be asked. And once you get admitted, again, think positive. Once you get admitted, they're going to be like, yeah, I helped Shelby get into UCLA. I'm sure she had a good GPA and GMAT, but it was my resume. My recommendation, right? Short term, they help you get admitted, but long term, they become a fan. They become a champion. There's somebody in the background of your career who's just kind of looking out for you. So let the whole thing, bring a little fun to it. Don't make it too serious, right? Sometimes people don't get admitted and they wait a year and they get a promotion and maybe they improve their GRE or whatever, and they come the next year, just, kind of enjoy the journey of discovering and kick the tires. USC, Pepperdine, Irvine, LMU, Berkeley, right? The Southern California Choice Group. It's fun to see what's out there. Talk to current students, talk to alumni, look people up on LinkedIn. You know, super easy to find people on LinkedIn, right? And, you know, informational interviews. Hey, can I get 20 minutes on your calendar? I'm kicking the tires of grad school. Send people a thank you note. Send them a resume, right? All of those things, that's the kind of stuff you learn in business school about networking. And all those things can be, we get people who get promotions the summer before school starts. That's one of my favorite little parts of this job, right? People get a promotion and they haven't even taken a class yet, right? It opens you up. It gets you curious. It gets you looking around. It gets you thinking new thoughts and talking to new people. So that's all my advice about that. And then in terms of the chances of getting accepted, we admit sort of 2 out of 3, you know, we deny about 1 out of 3. So it's not like the undergrad program, 149,000 apps for 10,000 yeses. It's not 14-1. It's more about 2 out of 3. And that's kind of the industry average for part-time. So be positive, right? Does that help a little?
Yeah, great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Shelby. Very nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well.
Let me see if I can pronounce it correctly. Is it Stravia?
Shravya, yes.
Shravya. No, sorry. I don't have my glasses. I thought I was a T. Shravya, nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm working as a senior credit analyst at DocuSign. I have about 7 years of work experience, so really looking to change gears, and that's why I'm applying for the MBA program at UCLA.
Oh, great. I've used DocuSign. Did everybody's performance evaluations on DocuSign last year.
Glad to hear it. Yes. So I have 2 questions, actually.
Sure.
So one is, how does the interview process work after you submit your application? I know that there's like an interview date. So how does the process work? And are there any tips and guidances that you can give to have a successful interview? And then the second question is,
well, let me just do one at a time. I have a small brain, can't remember everything. So if you applied in round 3, after you applied, you got a confirmation email and you got the opportunity to sign up for April 16th. So this Saturday, we're having the Super Saturday, and those are 30-minute face-to-face. They're actually on Zoom right now. We're coming out of COVID. Everybody's back. The masks went away Monday. It's lovely. I was at work today with no mask. It felt so wonderful. So those are 30-minute face-to-face interviews with a current or an alumni volunteer. They do not know your GPA. They don't know your GMAT. They've not seen your essays. All they get is your resume. And they have about 5 to 7 questions that they ask in the half hour, and they leave time at the end for you to ask them some questions. And what they're listening for is, you know, Shravya, sorry, it's hard for me to say. Shravya reminds me of this other person I was in class with who had kind of a similar background. And what I loved about being in class with that person was they were always so blah, 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 blah. They're helping us build a great learning community. They're trusting us to evaluate the GPA and GMAT. They're helping us determine chemistry and fit. So you just want to be relaxed. You want to be yourself. And what you're communicating is an MBA is a very, 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 very collaborative group work intensive graduate degree. It is not an individual contributor degree. It's not a master's in science where you're in a laboratory by yourself for 12 hours a day. It's the opposite of that. It's lots and lots and lots and lots of time with other people because it's a degree in management. So you want to be, you know, communicating, and they're just envisioning, man, she'd be a great classmate. She's conscientious. She's got 7 years. She's with DocuSign. She obviously gets authenticity and integrity, right? Because that's what DocuSign is all about. Can I trust this signature? That'd be neat to have a window into that world like that. So you just want to kind of have your top 3 or 4 stories, you know, formative moments, lessons learned. Why'd you choose your major? Why'd you choose DocuSign? Why do you want UCLA? Why do you want to keep your job? You know, just basic. Why do you want to do this? Why right now? Why fully employed? Why is this the right degree? Why is this the right company? Why is this the right type of MBA? Why is this the right window? You're just showing that you're not just saying, oh, I'm going to go to Anderson because they got a good reputation, right? That's the only thing that ever kind of turns us off is somebody just doesn't even take the time to get a little bit of a sense of what we're all about.
Right.
Does that help?
Yep. Thank you. That was really helpful.
Great. All right, next question.
Yeah, it's actually related to this. Like you said, so now that the COVID pandemic has been kind of, a little less scary and things have opened up, I was wondering if there's any events that we can attend for FEMBA related program questions or, to meet the current students in person. If there's any events.
Yes. After 2 long years. So May 7th, Saturday, May 7th. I'm not sure if it's posted or not. We're going to have a Saturday morning information session. So it'll be me again. You'll see a lot of these slides again, but there'll be, I think, breakfast burritos and coffee out on the Alumni Plaza from 8:45 to 9:30. And then we'll move into Crown Auditorium, which is a part of our we have a brand new $80 million tower that just opened 10 weeks before we shut down for COVID. And now we're back. And there will be our FEMbassador volunteers there that morning.
Perfect. I'll look out for that event. I signed up for, just to get notifications. But I know a lot of it is online right now, but I wanted to see if there was anything coming up.
Yep. That's our first one in a long time. We're all kind of excited about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you, Shravia. Shravia. Oh, it's hard for me to say. Sorry.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Apologize for that. Hi, Madison.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Madison. I also got my undergrad at UCLA, so I can confirm that all the amazing things you said are true. It's the best in the world. I just had a quick question about also kind of about the phone interviews. I applied to round 3.
Oh, great.
But it looks like all of these slots filled up really fast. Is there going to be another opportunity to maybe sign up for a phone interview or?
Oh, okay. Then we need to get you, let me put it, I'll put it in the, reach out to Edgar. His name is Raymond, but his email is Edgar Murata at anderson.ucla.edu. We'd love for you to interview this Saturday, and he can still work you into an interview slot.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. That was it. That's all I had.
All right. Congratulations for applying a second time. Yeah, our most represented undergraduate population is always UCLA. I think I said that, but just to say it again. So think positive, and we'll be happy to have you back. And I know there are questions in the chats. I can't do 2 things at once, so I'll keep answering the questions for the people who are raising their hands here. Hi, did I pronounce your name even remotely close? Zhao?
Yeah, right. You're right. Hi,
Okay.
Dylan. Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you for having this meeting.
Sure.
Yeah, a little bit introduction for me. I'm working in the corporate finance field, USC alumni. I moved back from Bay Area to LA a couple months ago.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. 2 quick questions. The first one is that I'm wondering, is there like in-person class available?
Yes, the classes are in person. Yes, we're back to in-person education. Yes.
No, like a class visit. Is it available?
No, we don't really have those right now. Sorry. It's just with COVID and everything, we don't have them.
Okay, got it. My second question is that I have an undergraduate degree from China.
Okay.
But I have a master's degree from USC. I'm
Excellent.
thinking about the transcript. Do I have to provide an undergraduate transcript?
Yes, we need both.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, so mostly the universities just send them to us electronically now.
Mm-hmm. But if I'm concerned that they might not be able to do that. So would
what is there
my undergraduate? Yeah, my undergraduate.
Okay, but did USC require it when you got your master's degree there?
Yes. So I think I mailed did a mail version.
I mean, most universities, it's kind of a normal, you pay $25 or something for a processing fee, but there's not many universities. Sometimes we have problems with some schools, but not from China typically. So I think you should, it's probably easier than you think.
Okay. Yes. Oh, probably. Yeah. Because I did it like 6 years ago. So It might
Yeah,
be
yeah,
changed.
it's probably
Yeah.
expired or, USC, already filed it away. So you probably have to do it again newly, but I think it should be fine. And then
Okay.
we'd love to see your USC master's transcript also. So, it should be just a couple of websites to visit. Should take 30 minutes and get them both ordered and then they're on their way.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'll just have the last question. I just think about it, about the class schedule. I know you have the option to go to at the evening and also weekend.
Yes.
So can I just be like flexible? Like one semester I do evening, one semester I do weekend?
We do not recommend it that way. Our logic is pick a schedule that you can stick with. The benefit of sticking with one schedule is that you'll develop a better network by seeing those same 65 people. Let's say there's 65 people let's say you choose Tuesday night, Thursday night. So you'll see those people in the fall, then you'll see them again in the winter, then you'll see them again in the spring. And that continuity really helps everybody learn each other, know who they are. There'll be some classes that you're the star. There'll be other classes where it's more challenging. So if you get a promotion, if you move, if you get married, if you have children, if you have a life change and you need to change the schedule, if we have space available, we will move you. But our request is pick a section and stick with it, because the benefit to your long-term network is better if you have that common experience over those core classes, fall, winter, and spring. Then when you get to electives have nothing to do with, does not matter what schedule you chose in elective, you can choose any schedule when you get to electives. Excuse me. It does not matter what schedule you chose in core. When you get to electives, you can choose it. It's each quarter, it's a new choice.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks for joining us from the road. It's the world we live in. We can do it from anywhere. So thank you very much. Yeah. Hi, JK.
Hi.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
So a little bit of myself. My name is Gina, and I am an M&A project manager at a manufacturing company, and I also graduated from UCLA. And I have a question about the Green Bridge admissions.
Yes.
So it says that I have to score at least 3.4 GPA, and I'm saying that because my major is not one of the ones that are listed for 3.2. And it also says that you have to demonstrate quantitative coursework taken at UCLA. But I transferred from community college, so I actually did not take any of those courses that is listed, such as finance, accounting, statistics.
Okay.
So in that case, will I still be able to apply for the Greenbridge or?
So please reach out to Raymond again, Edgar.Murata, that I just posted in the chat, because he's kind of doing the one-on-ones to answer specific questions. I'll just paste that one more time, and he'll work with you on that. Mainly there is a quantitative component to the program. So we want people, we don't want to just admit people. We also want people to have a great experience while they're here. So he can work with you on that case by case and look at your transcripts and help determine, and he'll bring it to the faculty committee if he has questions.
Sounds good. And I have another question.
Please.
Is the interview process virtual?
Yes. This year and last year, it was all virtual. Once we're all the way past COVID, we'll go back probably, well, actually we'll probably do both, but historically they were face-to-face in the library, the Rosenthal Library, you might know. And then during COVID, they've just been phone or Zoom.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for being a double Bruin and looking at coming back. Hello, Taylor.
Hi. First of all, thank you for the session. Just a quick question. Oh, a little bit about me also. Sorry.
Please. Yeah.
I name's Taylor. I'm a growth strategist at Warner Brothers. I've been with them for about 4 years or so. Looking to kind of enhance and also explore with an MBA program. Yeah, so that's that. And then question was just for next, like if we're looking to apply next year, would the, I guess like benchmarks for this last round of applications be like a good way to judge when the next rounds for next year will open?
Yeah, we will turn the application off for July. We do our once a year big system level updates, and we turn the application back on at the start of August. The application deadlines will be similar. There'll be a October, January, and April deadline. And then, we either have the bonus round or not, depending on how the year goes. We might tweak the essay questions, but it'll still be, GMAT, GRE. The big pieces are pretty constant. We just, experiment around the edges.
Cool.
So everything I said tonight will roll forward into next year.
Okay, awesome. That was it from me.
All right. Well, very nice to meet you. And, 4 years, that's all good. You're in the right window. So it could be this year. If you're ready to jump, it could be, this was interesting, and I'll just give myself, the summer and aim at it for next year. You'll get the same MBA either way. You'll have a great experience either way. So it's a very personal calculus. When's the right window in my life? So what I want to communicate to everybody tonight, if you want to apply this year, there's still a great opportunity to get started. And if you're a year out, then great. You're just doing, your due diligence early.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Very nice to meet you. Hello, Munish.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for the session today. So a little bit background of me. I am working in a biotech company. I'm from San Diego. I'd be applying sometime next year. I wanted to know if there are any financing or scholarship options for international applicants.
We have a small fellowship budget. We offer a $30,000 merit fellowship to about 1 out of 5 people who are admitted to the program. And it has nothing to do with US citizen or international. It's based on your undergraduate GPA and GMAT, GRE, whatever, the combination of your prior education and your best test score. So about the top 20% of our student body is awarded that offering. Other than that, we have loans for both US citizens and international H1, L1, guest workers in the US. Yeah. So the majority of people are paying for this on their own. The happy minority of the student body is being sponsored by their company. There are still some companies who sponsor, but not very many companies who will pay for the whole thing. There are some companies who will pay for a part of it. And then there are many people in the program who are paying for this on their own.
And does the probability of getting this scholarship varies with the round? Like, is it higher if you apply early?
We could run out of funds towards the end of the season. Yes.
Okay.
So we keep the standards pretty constant in round 1, 2, and 3. It has to do with, not everyone that we offer a fellowship to attends, so we're always kind of adjusting as we go, but we definitely have a budget that we live within.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. Yeah, historically, before 5 or 7 years ago, we didn't even have anything. It used to just be your job is your scholarship, and there's still a certain sense of that. Our daytime students give up 2 years of salary, so they receive much bigger packages because of the opportunity cost of being unemployed for 2 years.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, we love our San Diego folks. So thanks for checking us out, and we'll look forward to your application next year. Hi, Julian. We meet again.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I wanted to see if somebody else would ask the question. If not, come back to it. But
awesome.
I have 2 additional questions, hopefully pretty easy. The first one being around the referrals. For the recommendations, like, are there any type of recs that UCLA prefers to see over others, right? So direct, like managers, people of higher tenure companies, etc.
Well, mostly just professional recommendations versus personal recommendations. That's the main thing.
Okay.
It's not exactly a character testimonial as much as it is a business professionalism testimonial. So it's not just, I've known Julian since he was 3 years old and his family is wonderful. It's not that you're a good person. We very much want you to be a good person, but these are professional work habit, you know, how he does on a team, how he deals with complexity, how he deals with ambiguity, how he deals with interpersonal. So so it's people from your either paid work life or your philanthropic endeavors. It can be like, if you're in a mentor relationship, something like that, it can very much be from that world. But we want to know that you're going to be a great group mate, and the recommendations help us determine that.
Great. And then just building on that question is, would it benefit to get someone who has already attended the MBA program?
Those, yeah, the questions people very often ask are, do they need to be an alum, or do they need to be like super important in the company? It doesn't hurt if they're an alum, and it doesn't hurt if they're the president of the company, et cetera. But what's more important than either of those things is that it's less important that the person went to UCLA than that the person knows Julian really well and likes Julian. It's less important that the person is the CEO. They could be a manager or a director if they like Julian. You know, like a CEO who doesn't exactly know you very well, but knows of you, may not be nearly as impactful as somebody who hired you.
That makes sense. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, and remember the thing about short-term, you're being tactical because you're getting admitted, but long-term, you're being strategic. You're choosing two people who they like you and they want to pay attention to your career the next 5 or 10 years and maybe bring some opportunities your way. Hey, Julian, I've been kind of watching you in the background while you've been going through Anderson. You know, I see you on LinkedIn. It seems like things are really going well. Hey, I heard about an opportunity. I thought it might be of interest to you. Right? That's something that a manager or a director might do because they're closer to you. A CEO might be too busy to do. So, you know, there's no perfect answer on that, but they like you and they have enough experience of you kind of in the trenches that they can speak specifically to, yeah, this guy's really great, and here's why.
That's super helpful. Thank you.
All right.
And then the second question was around the networking events. Do full-time MBA students and the FEMBA students, do they get like similar or the same type of networking events, like same companies?
Well, okay, so we use the term like networking to mean a lot of different things. So companies come on visit to recruit. We have 100, 120 companies a year who come specifically on campus and recruit. FEMBAs have the opportunity to participate. They have to go with our dedicated career services team and get all prepared, but FEMBAs can interview and get internships. That's what the Anastasia Ali, that's what she did. She actually did 2 internships, a summer and a fall internship at Disney to get her foot in the door there. And then you can do you can do interviews on campus for full-time jobs. So FEMBAs have access to those opportunities for career search. And then there's also just like fun networking we have 50 different clubs in the Anderson Student Association. You can participate in all of those, and FEMBAs have access to that also.
Great. Yeah. So there's no actual restrictions. Obviously, if I'm working for my company, I'm not going to be applying for a summer internship, but as long as we can utilize some of the networking events.
Very much so. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. And speaker, you know, the networking is kind of always happening, and it happens physical in the room, hearing the speaker, shaking hands afterwards on the rope line and getting a business card. It happens that way. And then it happens very informally. Just you're on Zoom with your study group and you're just talking about what's going on in your world, and accidentally you're networking. You know, that happens too. We had FEMBA Council, we had the dinner for the FEMBA Council officers at Dean Fraisch's house on Sunday, and I was sitting across from Heidi Chung, who is going to Bain and really just had a tremendous outcome. And she was talking about the networking that she did and using all the resources to get that job. And her boyfriend is in the full-time MBA program, and they met on the Steamboat Springs full-time MBA ski trip 2 years ago. So, you know, that is like a little, you know, I love these love stories, right? Ryan and Dania, who got married after they made that video together, right? So there's all kinds of networking happening, starting companies, starting friendships, even starting, romantic relationships that lead to families. So it's what's my mom say? If you want to catch a fish, go where the fish are, right? You want to find a future business partner, go where there's a lot of people who want to find other future business partners. You want to find a life partner, go where there's a lot of single people. 2/3 of FEMBAs are single. 1/3 are married, 2/3 are not. So whatever you're looking for, tall or short or whatever, we got all varieties of human beings here. It's a great place to meet really interesting, exciting people from all over America, all over the world.
Awesome. Thank you for your answer. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, Julian. All right, I'm just checking the time. Oh, 7:50. All right, we've gone a little 20 minutes over. Let me do 1 or 2 more, and then we'll start to wrap it up. Hi, Laura.
Hi, my name is Laura Pulido, and I work for UC Davis Health in Sacramento, but I live in Mission Viejo, so I do remote work.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
Nice to meet you too, Dylan. So I've been in clinical research since I've graduated my in undergrad, and so I'm trying to see, I'm happy with the group that I work with, but I also want to explore my options. Recently, I was given a supervisory role, and it's my first supervisory role, so I'm trying to get more so out of regulatory compliance like the IRB, because there's only so much you can do there, and more, I'm trying to explore more in the business management, business development side. My question to you, Dylan, is, with those internships or those 6 months going global and stuff like that, and do you have to apply to those, or do you get paired according to your interests, or how does that work? I would still like to stay in the healthcare industry because my whole trajectory in my career has been in healthcare and clinical research. So if I go that route of internship or the global piece, I would really like to stay within healthcare in that market.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, you can for sure stay in healthcare. And when we talk about a person being an enhancer, that means they like the industry that they're in. They like the company they're in. They don't want to leave all that. They just want to improve their outcomes within the industry and the company they've already chosen. And the majority of FEMBAs, maybe 40-45%, are enhancers. So if you want to stay in healthcare, you can for sure stay in healthcare. You will just give yourself more opportunity within healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Then I was explaining a couple things all at once. So if you want to do the 1 week global immersions, those are mini short study abroad opportunities. And you have the opportunity to do those spring break, fall break, winter break, summer break in the 2nd and 3rd year. And they're optional. You don't have to do them, but they're a lot of fun. And so we always recommend we'll do at least one. But that would just be 1 week where you go travel to an interesting other part of the world. And then the third thing is the master's thesis. That is a 6-month long academic experience. And the one that's called GAP, the Global Access Program, you're still in America for those 6 months, but your company is headquartered abroad. And what you would probably do would be to look for a company that had a healthcare type business. And then you get to submit your resume, and we try to match people to companies where there's a good fit. So we're matching both you to the company, and you get to pick your teammates. So it's a group experience. You are a consulting team working for those 6 months. So it's a 6-month class where you are researching an international company and making a recommendation for what they should do next for their own business strategy.
Okay.
And you do all that while you continue to work here at your current job in healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain it really quickly. So that's why I love it that you asked the question, because I can explain it one more time.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Let me just share screen here, just kind of wrap up. This is, I said earlier that I would tell you about Tori Brodsky. So Tori is my incredible alum who created Drink Light, this company And if you go to that live guide link that I put in the chat earlier, you can hear her story. She's a really neat human being. She's super inspiring. Carol Ann Link is the woman. So I interviewed Tori 2 weeks ago on April 1st. Carol Ann, we had our interview this past Friday. Her interview will be going up. She's a person who's helping plan the Paralympics that UCLA will be the host of in 2028, Olympics and the Paralympics. Her story is super inspiring. And then this upcoming week, 3 days from now, Kyle Brower is our new FEMBA Council president. So Friday at noon, I'm going to interview Kyle live on Zoom. And if you'd like to hear that, please go to our Anderson Live Guide website and you can register for that. There's Derek. I interviewed him back on February 18th. He's a gentleman who played professional football and now works for the NFL. So we got lots of them. Stephen Johnson, that's my friend who is the father of 4 and wrote this book, Small Beginnings. He's a fantastic, his story is so inspiring. Sarah Anderson is our outbound student body president. She's got a great story. Haley Ehrlich wanted to reinvent her career. She was doing high-tech recruiting in the Bay Area. She wanted to get in sports management. She got an internship or a full-time job, with the MBA in her first quarter of FEMBA during COVID. We have Black History Month from last year. We got lots of these different drive times. So just Google UCLA drive time on our website, etc., and you can find all these great stories. So stop share. Why will it not stop? Okay, so thanks very much. We did about 30 minutes of bonus Q&A. I love all the questions. Thank you for your participation. I put my link in the chat earlier. I'm happy to do one-on-ones with you. Also, you got Raymond's link. You can talk to Chris. And Christy will be back on May 1st. We also have 2 alumni volunteers who help us and all the ambassadors. So lots of us are available. We want to help you out. Congratulations on a 2-hour investment in finding out what your future might include. We hope it includes graduate school. We hope it includes graduate school at UCLA Anderson. We hope that you keep your job while you do it and come to the Fully Employed MBA program. We hope you trust us with something very precious, your future. And we would love to help you take a good future and turn it into a great future. So thanks very much. I appreciate your attention. Thanks so much for staying to the end. Appreciate all the notes and have a good evening, everyone. Bye for now.
Thanks so much, Dylan. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the claps. All right.
you.
Zooming out now. Have a great week.